ADHDers, are you ready for the 18 diagnostic criteria of ADHD from the DSM? Hi, I'm Steve Gunson, the author of Dragonborn, The Mythology of ADHD. I'm here to reframe ADHD from disorder to chaos-embracing hero. Join me for 99 insightful TikToks as we reframe ADHD, or you can buy my book on Amazon. Sorry to mislead you ADHDers, there's 18 criteria, but I'm not going to go into any of them because they're just far too negative. We're not going into it because they're all about not fitting into the Prussian model school system, not being able to stay in our seats, blurting out answers, losing our pencils. Let's use common sense about why ADHD is perceived so negatively. Think about it. The first person who deals with an ADHDer besides their parents is a teacher in the public school system. And what's the job of that teacher? To get you to sit down, shut up, and listen. Things that a hunter-gatherer brain just aren't good at. So when Johnny can't sit down and Johnny blurts out answers, then the teacher sends him to the principal. Then the principal sends the problem-causing Johnny to a therapist who has to figure out how to get Johnny back in line with the Prussian model system. So the therapist looks and they say to themselves, what's wrong with Johnny? Well, he can't stay in his seat. He blurts out answers. He must have a disorder. And therapists, they're there to fix something. So they need to find things that are negative. Unfortunately, it totally overlooks all of the positive qualities of people with ADHD. And we know we have plenty of great qualities. Why do these great qualities get overlooked? Well, let me tell you another story about Johnny, a story that you've never heard before. Johnny has ADHD, so he's highly empathic, and he sees one of his classmates get hurt at recess, and he goes over and he helps him. Then later, in class, he solves a problem creatively in a way the teacher didn't expect. Well, now we know that compassion and creativity are strong traits by ADHDers. So the teacher, seeing Johnny's compassion and creativity, sends Johnny to the principal. And the principal sends Johnny to the therapist. And the therapist says, gee, Johnny's really compassionate and creative. I'm going to call this compassionate creative trait and include it in the DSM. That story has never happened because there's nothing to fix. And that's why the DSM is filled with only negative traits, not a single positive one. Well, I'm flipping the script on that. For the next 5 TikTok videos, I'm going to illustrate 14 qualities of ADHD people that are awesome. And you won't find a single one of them in the DSM. All right, feel free to follow me on social media or go to my website, genethreads.com. That's GENE threads.com.